Here with Andrew Brietbart, founder of Big Government and Breitbart.com, and just general new media mogul at CPAC. Wondering what you're finding so far. How's the reaction been to your product?
People are happy here with my product. I think for the most part I haven't met any detractors, but I'm under the impression that Rachel Maddow's here, so there's at least one detractor here. I being the organizer of the federal break-in of Mary Landrieu's office, where I paid millions of dollars to James O'Keefe to break in there. That was a terrific story. Great reporting there, MSNBC.
And if you could say one thing to Rachel Maddow, if you were to run into her, what would it be?
Well, you're standing naked in front of the American people. You were part of a propaganda campaign to attack the last president, to make him out to be the worst human being that ever walked the face of the earth. And at the same time, you promoted Barack Obama as the greatest thing that ever walked the earth. And by overselling this poor gentleman, Barack Obama, you have created the broken promise with the American people. The Tea Party movement and the rebellion that you're seeing in Massachusetts and across the country is not because Barack Obama stinks as bad as he does. It's because you oversold him and you undersold the last president. That in an era of new media, there's a checks and balance for the type of propaganda that you serve up. And if you think you can unring this bell and you think you can put your clothes back on while continuing to peddle this type of propaganda, you're wrong. So there is a checks and balance on you. I hope to see you and give you a lovely hug because you've validated my hopes and aspirations and my business model, because you're so bad at what you do.
So this is still kind of a conservative establishment here. Have you found that there is an embrace of the Tea Party movement and new activists and new entrepreneurs?
The Tea Party movement is so brilliantly disorganized, they just pop up all over the place, and that the left's Alinsky tactics, that's you, Rachel Maddow, of isolating a Sarah Palin or her poor children and beating on them, beating on them, beating on them. You can't do that with the Tea Party movement. Oh, yes, you can. You can call them racist and homophobes, but those tricks aren't working anymore because people are saying, this is ridiculous. Look, this all ties back to the media. Every single person here who's conservative or libertarian or free market or classical liberal, whatever you want to call them. Oh, I'm a Hayekian, if that's even a term. Everybody has a term. The one thing these people do have in common is a contempt for the mainstream media, which has framed the narrative that these people, that their value system, that their political value system, their economic value system is somehow debased, that it somehow has origins in racism or sexism. All that stuff that you learned in college in the last 20 years, that postmodern, post-structuralist garbage is being exposed right now, and we are rebelling against it. It is a good day in America. While we may be racking up federal debt to the point of absurdity, the American people are finally waking up to the nightmare that has been created in the postmodern academy over the last 40 years and what has been carried on in the tradition of journalism. We are now coming after you, and if you're not going to correct yourselves, we're going to correct it for you.
And then last thing, do you see a role for sort of more activist type of journalism that we saw from James O'Keefe, both with the Acorn thing and with the Landrieu thing? Follow up to that, what do you think will happen with the Landrieu case?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're minting new people every day, and everybody's starting to get it. These techniques that James O'Keefe is doing, and Hannah Giles and other people who are here, you'll find out who they are later, because they're going to be stars in the next weeks and months, is that anybody can do it. Anybody can take their camera and expose a light on corruption that exists out there. And the government that you want to take the middle class money and throw it into the government where it's not accountable, where when an acorn gets exposed, the instinct of the mainstream media and the government isn't to say, how are these people spending our money? It's, we're going to destroy Andrew, we're going to destroy Hannah, we're going to destroy James. People are watching. And so what they're realizing is that new media means it's a populist media. It means you can do it too. Creativity exists. The means of distribution exists. And yes, this is a great moment in journalism history where it's being democratized and people are coming up here and they're excited because they're realizing, that old order is coming to an end.
Did he push the line in this Landrieu case, and what do you think is going to be the resolution?
No, the mainstream media pushed the line in this case. They framed, while he was in jail without an attorney, the mainstream media was leaked the case that falsely framed James and these other gentlemen. And because the media wanted to destroy James for what he successfully did in the Acorn expose, they so overreached. And when the American people find out that this was a clown nose on exposure, that Mary Landrieu was not answering her phones after she took the $300 million, and they find out that she was lying to them, and that the expose actually did in fact work, and there was no tampering, there was no attempt to interfere with the phone system there. When the American people see that, they're going to be outraged that the mainstream media tried to destroy James O'Keefe, and what you're going to see is that there's also other video that is going to come out, and the media that tried to defeat James O'Keefe and to destroy him, in their attempts to do that, they weaponized him, they made him a bigger figure than he otherwise would become, and so the next videos that come from him and his cohorts is going to be that much more devastating.
And can you tell us what they're going to be? All right. Thank you very much, Andrew Brietbart.
Thanks, Ken.